we're still only at January 20th. But listen, so far the hat has brought some luck. I don't think Alabama needed luck last night. John Petty came out firing, the ultimate gunslinger there, and everybody kind of followed suit, right? Josh Primo, Quinterly. And it looked like for a minute they were going to set the NCAA record for threes. They didn't do that, but man, they knocked down 22 of them, and they destroyed Will Wade and LSU. Like, this wasn't a game after the first really first like 2 minutes. Like 2 minutes, it was 18-4, and the game was over.
Yeah, I mean, I think John Petty hit 4 threes in the first 3.5 minutes of the game, and then after that, it was just like LSU never got close. I think after Alabama got it to 20, within like the first 3 minutes of the game, and like LSU never cut the lead.
It wasn't even the biggest thrashing maybe of the night. Like, as much as I can celebrate my pick of Alabama, you now have to fall on the sword a little bit.
Oh man. That was bad by Tennessee. That was really, really bad. I think, okay, so there's a lot to unpack with this, with what happened in this game. I tweeted last night that I think it was the most surprising result of the season. And the reason that I said that is because Tennessee's whole brand and whole persona has been like, we are going to be the tougher team. We are going to be the better defensive team. We may not win the game, but you're not going to beat us in a fight. You're not going to get to the offensive glass on us. You are not going to be able to run your offense comfortably. You're not going to be getting wide open dunks and wide open layups. And that's all that Florida did. Like, they just completely eviscerated them, despite the fact that Scotty Lewis wasn't playing, Colin Castleton wasn't playing, Keontae Johnson is done for the year, and Trey Mann played 6 minutes in the first half because of foul trouble. It was a complete and utter dismantling.
Amazing.
With Florida's backups.
I can't believe it. I mean, you're right. I mean, when you add every factor into it, you might say, yes, it was as surprising as just about any result this season. Man, like, I don't know if this is a one-off or we just overrated Tennessee. You know, we're going to have to see here.
So I have a theory on it. I have a theory on it. Okay, so the big thing with Tennessee is that Jaden Springer was not playing. And Jaden Springer is like the one guy on that team that can create his own shot and can create something for somebody else. I think he had, 15 assists in the 3 games prior to this one. He's the only guy that can really get into the lane and find somebody. The other really, really bad game that Tennessee played this year, do you know who it was against? It was against Alabama. And Jaden Springer played 5 minutes in that game before suffering the ankle injury that he re-aggravated and missed, that forced him to miss last night's game. So I think that Jaden Springer is the guy that you kind of have to watch for. Like, he's probably the most important player on Tennessee this year. That said, he ain't worth 26 points, right? No. Like, there's a lot more going on with this Tennessee team in that game last night than just missing Jaden Springer. But I do think that the reason they got off to the start they did and the reason why they struggled as much as they did early on was because they didn't have Jaden Springer, the guy that can loosen up an opposing team's defense.
Listen, can we go through a few things here with Tennessee? They were unbelievable early. But, you know, outside of the first game, they played Colorado. You know, they beat Cincinnati, App State, Tennessee Tech, St. Joe's, USC Upstate. And they crushed Missouri. And then we were like, okay, you know what? Maybe they're for real. Maybe they're for real when they beat Missouri. And since then, you know, they've been just okay. I mean, again, they got blasted at home to Alabama. Everybody beats Texas A&M. They stink. And Arkansas, we don't know. Like, Arkansas is kind of a fringe tournament team probably at the end of the day who's beaten absolutely nobody so far. So, listen, Tennessee, to me, you're right. They got to win because of their toughness. And, man, they showed no toughness last night.